jobs.
Anyway, Sue, before we even ask you any of the important questions, we've only got one prepared question, and Raj is about to throw it your way now.
What makes you happy?
Oh,
Uh-oh.
what's in my happy space?
Yeah. Can you bring this up a little bit?
A little bit. What makes me happy? I don't know. It's really opposite from the kind of the high tech space.
That's
because
okay.
That's what I
being
wanna
out
hear.
in nature
Yeah.
makes
Perfect.
me happy. So
Yeah.
be it in the garden or out on a mountaintop.
Excellent.
Yeah, that's my happy space.
That's very cool.
Yeah.
An awful lot of people we've spoken to this week have all said surfing.
Yeah, no, I wouldn't mind. I quite like the sort of the image or the idea that goes with that. But
That's right.
Chilling at the beach. Yeah.
I'd like to be a brilliant surfer. I just don't want to have that pain to get to that
correct,
point.
correct. Yeah, yeah, absolutely.
You're here not just as a sponsor partner in this whole shebang here in Tate. I was about to say in the shiny Tate, but I've just looked out the window.
It's raining now.
It's raining, but that's okay. We're inside a beautiful building, so
Yeah, it's
what do
nice
we
here.
care? You're gonna. Are you talking? You have talked.
I'm speaking in about 10 minutes.
Okay, we better crack in.
How SMEs can employ effective manufacturing.
Yes.
Excellent.
Yes.
What are you going to tell everyone?
So in a consulting space, I work in our industrial group, and so we're working with a number of companies who are very interested in Industry 4.0, so fourth industrial revolution, and what it can do for their businesses in terms of productivity, efficiency, and so on. But
Can I just jump in then second?
Yeah.
What is the fourth revolution?
So the Industrial Revolution, the first Industrial Revolution,
Yep.
happened way back.
It did. Even
so
before
that
my
was
time.
Way before your time.
Oh, nice.
So
Just-
the application of steam to mechanised equipment and so on.
Yep.
So if you think of the second Industrial Revolution was about mass manufacturing, so think Ford motor cars.
Yep.
Third third Industrial Revolution is about bringing machines on board or computers on board, so like
Okay.
PLCs and computer-aided manufacturing and so on.
The Japanese car factory that we saw in the 80s and 90s. Yep.
And lots of robotics and stuff.
Yep.
And then the fourth industrial revolution is what's happening right now, which is about connectivity and the computing power that we can bring to our industry. So you've got Internet of Things, you've got intelligent robotics. So not only does the robot do what packing and so on, it actually can navigate around obstacles. It can interface with humans.
Yeah.
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 That's cool.
Very cool.
So it's a really cool
thank you for that.
opportunity for businesses to make a step change in their manufacturing or production, and they haven't really had that for a long time. It's just that because it's such a step change, it's sort of taking time for people to get their heads around it.
Yes.
So what fascinates me about the whole thing really is the human interface of it, because the technology is kind of cool, but how do people adopt it and adopt to that change in their businesses?
Yes.
So, and then I think it needs to be kind of a top-down or top-driven thing.
Yep.
And yet the people who are closest to the technology are those who, aren't at the very top.
Yeah.
And they kind of, so they might be adopting it, but that's not progressing up through the organisations.
That's
so people are
changed.
having a hard time of kind of adapting to having this new technology in their businesses.
And if they don't, because there is an option of not.
Absolutely.
But the downside for not doing anything.
Well, if everybody else is doing it, then it's costing you more in labour or, less efficient, processes, or you simply don't see where the marketplace is going, and
Bye.
yeah.
Bye.
It's the end of that.
You
Yeah.
won't be around for the
Yeah.
fifth revolution.
Yeah, exactly.
Whenever that happens, yes.
Yeah,
Now we've only got a short time with you then.
You do, 'cause
And
I'm
you
supposed to
brought
be.
a cool tool.
I'm going to ask. I've got one question to ask then. We have struggled, and we don't have many women in manufacturing. You are the only possibly woman that's coming. What do you feel about that?
Well, I'm really used to it.
Yeah.
So I do work in a really male-dominated
It is.
environment. I do like having other women around the place. Women think differently, I guess,
Yeah.
and kind of interact differently. So I do a bit of work outside of, as part of my role, but also outside of work to try and encourage women or young women into engineering and science. But that's a challenge as well, because I was working with a school recently and to encourage their young women into engineering and science. You're thinking about how far back down the layers before they're making those decisions, like how far back do you have to influence them. And then it kind of occurred to me that the teachers actually weren't that familiar with what engineers what engineers did. So then I spent some time just working with the teachers, and they were intrigued. And so we did several site visits to various, construction sites and so on, showing just the teachers what engineers do.
What an excellent idea.
Yeah, so it was really interesting.
Yeah.
But yeah, a lot of work to be done.
Yeah, it's a lot of work.
Yeah.
Is it being looked at? Is it not looked at? Is there activity to change it? Is it going to get better, do you think?
Can you just bring the microphone up a little
And I
bit?
say better that way. Better. I think better.
Better than now.
Yeah. If not, what are we saying? And who do we have to shout at to make it happen?
It's extremely slow, and there were, I think, in my year, which was some years ago, there were 4% women in my class in engineering school, mechanical engineering. I think this year it's probably, I'm guessing, but probably around 16-20%. Oh. So it's improving over time, but probably not nearly so fast as we need it to improve. So.
Well, it's not excellent. It's excellent that you told us that, so we can do something about it now.
Yeah, I mean, you're right. Knowing the facts is the first point before you make decisions, which is
I rarely do that.
What our next discussion, which is what our next discussion is about learning what the facts are, so the data, and how do you turn data from a physical state into a digital state, so you can start manipulating it and analyze it, turn it into information, and then turn it into insight that people can actually understand, so that you can make decent decisions.
Yep.
Yeah.
So that's what we're trying to do.
Awesome.
Do you want me to show you my...
Yes, quick, before you go, of course.
I'm not sure I can do it one-handed.
I'll hold this for you.
So talking about being immersed in the digital world, the whole idea of virtual reality, and just one of the design tools that we've been using is these cardboard goggles.
Google Cardboard.
Google Cardboard.
Hey!
And if I can get that to actually
Nearly
fit in there.
Yep.
Was that you?
And it's such a simple. So you can have the whole Vive headset that's out in the foyer, or you can have something as simple as the cardboard glasses that you just set up your phone into a stereo image on there, and you're popping it in the back, and you can actually have a look. I'll have to show you guys later because there's nothing loaded right now.
But
you can actually have a look at what your so in a virtual space, what your future factory will look like, or what your even what your current factory will look like, with some additional equipment placed in it.
So you can stood in the field and go, right, that's where we're going to build. Oh no, we don't. We need
exactly. But you imagine being able to show the public what the latest cycleway is going to look like, for example. So you send these out, and they're a couple of bucks for a piece of cardboard.
Here's the plans, print them,
give them a QR code to to download on their phone, and suddenly they can see what infrastructure is going to be imposed upon, potentially, and make a much better informed decision. And they're much more interested and engaged in what's actually going on around them. So huge advantages to this sort of technology that can it's about engaging people, I think.
Yeah.
Totally.
It's
show, not tell.
Yeah.
Experience.
Exactly.
Or, here's the plans, and I look at plans going,
yeah,
nice.
Well, most people
no idea what that is.
Most people can't read them.
Yeah.
And, even people who are used to reading them, like I am, it takes a little while to kind of go, what does that actually mean?
Yes.
How tall is or how high is that ceiling? Is that thing going to clash with something else?
Yeah.
Have we actually got it right?
Yeah.
It's much easier to walk around. In the environment.
That's superb.
Very cool.
It's cool.
Thank you. How do people get in touch with you?
Yes.
www.BECA.com.
Excellent. Well, that's with
in
them
general,
and for you.
Yeah.
For me.
Yeah.
So I'm on LinkedIn. I'm on all the normal spaces, but sue.bradley@BECA.com.
Excellent.
Or give me a call.
If you want to help find more Sues and want to make that happen, get in touch with us, get in touch with Techweek, leave a comment, get in touch with you.
Yeah,
get in touch with Sue, because that's something that we are passionate about, is having more women in tech and engineering and STEM generally. So we're happy to help.
Thank you very much.
Pleasure.
Yeah, thanks for your time. It was great.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah,
excellent. We like Sue. Like Sue.
Thumbs up, put it on.
Thumbs
Let's go.
up.
It's all there down there.
Yeah.
Hurry up.
Perfect.
Very good.